The right news at the right time. From Fox 14, the right news at the right time. This is Fox 14, your morning news.
Right now, hours after Alabama's governor signed off on a controversial abortion bill, will more states follow suit?
And upgrades to the Civic Center are coming. Find out how much it's going to cost.
Plus, one of the world's unique landmarks is right here in Northeast Louisiana. That report just minutes away.
Good morning. Thank you for choosing Fox 14 at 7 a.m. I'm Randy Ayala.
I'm Chris Submersion. How you doing?
Doing good.
Chris is obsessed with Wendy Williams today.
No, I'm obsessed with your accent, which is kind of like Wendy Williams'
I don't have an accent.
She doesn't have an accent. Okay.
Does Reed have an accent? He's from Florida, in case you didn't know.
No. People from California and Florida have no accents.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's everywhere else in between.
It's a melting pot, you know?
Oh, is that how it works?
I think so.
Okay. National Days today. Hug a tree. Love a tree.
When's like National Macadamia Nut Cookie Day? When is that?
I think you missed it.
What?
I think it's in April.
Blasphemy.
April.
National Sea Monkey Day.
Is that today?
Yeah, it is.
National Sea Monkey Day.
Yeah.
Sea monkeys are very cute.
That was my high school mascot, a sea monkey.
No, it wasn't.
It was a centaur.
Stop lying to everyone.
No, we were the Culver City Centaurs.
Nice.
Sea monkey would be a cool one.
Yeah. Clover City Sea Monkeys. Has a ring.
0-10 when we were playing football every year.
Oof.
Yeah.
They didn't have you as a quarterback.
No, well, no, they should have.
Yeah, that would have made the difference.
Duh.
That would have been it. Weather looking real good for you today. If you've enjoyed this week, you'll enjoy today. Just pretty much the same. Sunny, warm, high temperatures up in the upper 80s this afternoon with no rain chances. Rain chances do return this weekend with, unfortunately, maybe even a few severe storms with it. And that will be Saturday night. Looking out there now, beautiful start. Got all your forecast details here soon. That's your forecast first.
All right, thanks, Reed. The fate of abortions across the country are under fire.
This as additional states propose heartbeat bills and as others aim for a near total ban. Fox News correspondent Ray Bogan has more on how these discussions could affect reproductive rights.
Alabama's governor signed the nation's strictest abortion law Wednesday. It nearly bans all abortions unless the mother's life is in danger. Now, lawmakers from other states are on a similar path.
We want to protect babies. We want to make abortion not just illegal, but unthinkable.
Missouri is set to take up a heartbeat bill banning abortions after roughly 8 weeks.
If for any reason any court were to overturn that, we have a tiered severance clause, tiered severance package rather, which would actually kick it to a 14-week ban.
Georgia, Kentucky, Mississippi, and Ohio have already outlawed abortions once a doctor detects a heartbeat. In Wisconsin, legislators going one step further, the state assembly passing a Born Alive anti-abortion bill Wednesday.
When a baby survives an abortion, takes that first breath of life, that doctors are required to do everything that they can do to ensure that baby survives.
Legal analysts say these state laws will face opposition throughout the federal court system.
Usually, when there's a major change in constitutional interpretation, it's the Supreme Court that makes the change. So lower courts themselves feel bound by the existing Supreme Court decisions. There are several cases already on the court's calendar for consideration.
Experts cite the conservative tilt of the Supreme Court as a reason why states are trying to pass bills that could challenge Roe versus Wade. In Washington, Ray Bogan, Fox News.
Just over a month ago, 13-year-old Sebastian Martinez drowned in a drainage canal following severe weather. Now family and friends are using that tragedy to give back to the community.
When he died, a bunch of the homeless people started coming out where he had been feeding them and giving to them where nobody knew.
Sebastian's aunt is feeding the streets of Balkanville from her kitchen. She and his mother have joined forces with another nonprofit, Lazarus Mission. The pantry, once full, is now emptying out as the need grows.
It gives me total satisfaction knowing that I can just be a small part of what's going on in this wonderful community.
I guess that's why I'm so determined to be at every one of them. To show people you don't have to turn to drugs. You don't have to turn to bad things because something happens in your life.
Sebastian's mother and aunt see their cause as a way to fight gang violence and drugs. If you'd like to donate food, you can do so through a link to this story on myarklamis.com.
All day today, we'll be looking at the wonderful and unusual things that are uniquely Louisiana. In this hour, we're getting a look at a National Historic Landmark right here in our own backyard.
It's a site that dates back to the Stonehenge and features nearly 2 million cubic yards of soil that was shaped into stunning landscapes. Fox 14's Michelle Martin takes us to Poverty Point.
There's nothing like this anywhere in the world.
If you head east on I-20 in Louisiana and you drive far enough, you'll find yourself in Epes. That's where you'll find Poverty Point, a World Heritage Site that's 3,400 years in the making.
The Native Americans associated with this Poverty Point culture chose to build this massive mound complex here in northeast Louisiana. So it's the only place you can find it in the whole world.
Park Ranger Mark Brink says the beauty and history of Poverty Point lures people from all corners.
People from across the world, right? Lots of people from Europe, Asia, all these other places that wouldn't normally visit this place are coming.
Like Hans Van Beek and his wife, two Baton Rouge residents originally from the Netherlands.
I think the age of the site and the magnitude of the site are not just unique for Louisiana, but unique for the whole United States, for that matter.
Hans and his wife have their eyes set on the birds, but they say one of their favorite things about the state is its slow southern pace.
I think the pace of living and the culture of Louisiana in terms of easygoing and not the pace that you find in the northern part of the United States.
And a calm, serene atmosphere is exactly what you'll find at Poverty Point.
We know very little about these people, but they did something that was really incredible. So, yeah, I think that's something good.
Michelle, Poverty Point is a National Historic Landmark, one of the highest honor for an archaeological site. In 2014, Poverty Point achieved the highest honor all when UNESCO named it a World Heritage Site. There are only 3 other archaeological sites in the U.S. with that distinction. We want you to tell us what you think is uniquely Louisiana. Right now, go to our Facebook page and tell us what you love about Louisiana or what makes you think this state stands out. All day, we'll be going through your comments, and what you share could even appear right here on the news.
Parking lot renovations are paving the way for improvements at the Monroe Civic Center and the Saul Adler Recreation Center. About 9 acres of Civic Center parking will be ripped down to the base and rebuilt, costing about $900,000 and could be finished by August, weather permitting. The Saul Adler project will cost more than $100,000, including interior work. Monroe's engineering department will have signs posted and barricades up to help ease traffic problems.
They sacrifice so much to keep our country free, and yet there are hundreds of homeless veterans living on the streets of the ArkLaMiss. Our second annual Homeless Veterans Food Drive is now underway.
Last year, we collected 10.5 tons of food. Fox 14 is partnering with the United Way, the Wellspring, and Max Fresh markets once again this year. You can drop off any non-perishable food items at any Max Fresh market, the Jackson Street Church of Christ, First United Methodist Church in Monroe, and right here at the NBC 10 Fox 14 studios in West Monroe. Together, we can get our homeless veterans the support they need.
In less than 15 minutes, find out if we need to avoid bread if you're trying to lose weight.
And over a month after Ruston's deadly tornado, a 9-year-old is giving back. But first, here is Reed with a look at your Commutecast. Hey, Reed.
Hey, Randy. Commute looking good for today. We got plenty of sunshine on tap. It's up. Temperature in the mid to upper 60s this afternoon, warming up about 20 more degrees, mid to upper 80s. It's going to be warm outside, getting near 90. Dress light, pack the water, and again, stay cool today, tomorrow. Looking nice this weekend. Storms return. Got all those forecast details here in a few minutes on Fox 14, your morning news.
I own Ouachita. The opinions and views expressed are those of the Ouachita